Welcome back for more Operation Lone Ranger. This is Global War 1936, and we're doing the Commonwealth, turn number 10, along with Free France. So let's get right into the Commonwealth. We'll do Britain first here. And we got some tech rolls. We got 4 of them. So we've finished off radar and improved factories. We're going to do anti-sub warfare, improved construction, long-range aircraft, and then we got to figure out a 4th technology to do. Amphib doctrine is very inviting. Let's see if there's anything else we might want to prioritize ahead of it, though. I don't think so. Let's go for amphib doctrine. All right, so ASW is going to be at a 7. Improved construction is going to be at a 7. Amphib doctrine, also at a 7. And then long-range aircraft is at an 8. Okay, let's see what all we get. Looks like we only succeeded with 2 of them, so that's going to be improved construction and amphib. All right, so improved construction, we're on the board stage 1, and amphib, we're on the board stage 1. Okay, let's get into purchases. For Britain, oh yeah, we got to remove some IPP from the board. Can't forget to do that. So we have to subtract 6. We have 1 down here on this line, and then 5 up here on this line. So let's remove 6 IPP. That kind of sucks. We'll throw in a 10 and get 4 back. For the Far East Command, they only have to take 1 off the board. And then the Anzacs will only have to take off 2, which I think is the max that they can take off. That's the only line they have. Okay, so we've accounted for that. Let's go to purchases. So, let's purchase a fighter. Let's see here. Where is my Commonwealth box? This is going to be here. Okay, purchase a fighter, and that'll cost 10. Let's see, that will leave us with 16 to spend. Let's go for let's go for 2 Marines. It's going to cost 8. And a medium armor. So medium armor and 2 Marines. How do we want to do this? Yeah, we'll use the commando. Usually I use the commando sculpts for airborne infantry, but I'll use them for, I get a chip out. I'll use them for Marines too. Just make sure I put a marker on there so I know what they are. Okay, so we have 2 left to spend. Do we want to purchase a militia anywhere, or do we want to save up our money? Let's save our money. All right, Far East Command. We have 9 to spend. 4 of it we're going to use to purchase an AA gun. And then the other 5, we are going to upgrade 2 militia, 1 in Maharashtra, 1 in Delhi. And that will leave us with 1 IPP to spend. I'm going to put them down here. And then the Anzacs will have 5 to spend. And let's see. We're going to go for a militia and an infantry. Militia and infantry. Okay, let's get into combat moves. So we are at war with Italy now, so we're going to try and attack this Italian submarine. We could make it. Do we attack the Japanese fleet? That is the question. Well, this other battleship, 1, 2, 3, will not be able to make it, even though there is a major port here. The other issue is that we're letting the Italian fleet just run rampant in the Med Sea, so we kind of need to react to that as well. We're going to take this light carrier. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think we want to attack them. Let's just leave them be for now, and we'll just do this one here. So we have a destroyer that's at a 4 or less, and he misses, and then the submarine's at a 3 or less. Oh, and he hits and he sinks our destroyer. Oh, that sucks. Well, that was a disaster. All right, so that's the only combat move that we have. I think it doesn't really serve us any good to attack into Africa right now. kind of still on the defensive. So let's go to non-combat. Man, that sucks. We lost our destroyer to that submarine. Oh yeah, we can raid this this Italian line here. So let's roll for that. So we will get a bonus of 3 because we have radar, plus it's a fleet submarine. And Italy doesn't get a bonus at all for anything. All right, so we do 9 compared to his 6. And it's a good thing that we rolled high, since he rolled a 6. So we do 1 damage on the Italian line. And we'll put a marker there. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to move this ship into the Eastern Med Sea, and the rest of the fleet's going to move into there as well. Of course, the French ships will have to. It's not France's turn yet, so the French ships will stay back for now. Coastal sub will come over 1 to I-8. These 2 artillery are going to rail where do we want them to go? They are going to rail up to Nubia. Okay. The fleet that's we want to repair this battleship, so we've got to get him to port. He will come down 1. This guy's supposed to be in Belgium. He'll come down 1, 2 into A23. And then next turn, he'll be able to repair his damage at London. You can repair at minor facilities, but you're limited to how many ships can repair in 1 turn. So with a major facility, there's more ships can repair at once. There's more repair slots, if you will. So, but we're only repairing 1 ship, so it's not a big deal. We could repair to minor or major, but we have to be, in friendly territory. So any of this territory, we're not going to be able to repair at, obviously, because it's all German. Okay, so that's, I think that's it for the European side. Over here, let's see if we want to get any units kind of in place to defend against what Japan's throwing at us. So let's see, Asia, we get 1 strategic rail move. So we're going to move 1 guy from Sydney to South Australia. Strategic rail move. We're going to leave 1 infantry in Sydney, and this other guy is going to come up 1 to New South Wales. 1 motorized is going to come over to Northern Territory. Japan cannot launch an amphibious assault into Queensland because of the Great Barrier Reef. So Queensland is naturally protected. Now they could launch an amphib assault from P-63. That's totally possible, but not from P-64 or P-71. Okay. All right, I think that'll do it. Let's place some units. We have 2 Marines and a fighter for Britain. The fighter will go into London, and the 2 Marines we're going to place into southern England. And let's see, we have a medium armor that is going to go into Cape Town. And then we have some Anzac guys here. We've got a militia that's going to go into Queensland and join that infantry. And then this other infantry is going to go into Sydney. We have 2 militia upgrades and a AA gun. The AA gun, of course, is going to go into Calcutta. And then the militia upgrades will go into Delhi and Maharashtra. Okay. So we're still just trying to build up forces. I mean, obviously, we're on the defense. We're in no position, really, to go on the offensive quite yet. And here's the thing about, just talking a little strategy here, here's the thing about, you could say, well, Normandy's wide open, Picardy, Aquitaine, we can just launch an amphibious assault and take some German territory into France. But anything that we land, we only have 2 transports. So we're really strapped with how many units that we can put into France or mainland Europe. We only put 4. So, and whatever we land is immediately going to get counterattacked by the Germans here. So, I mean, at that point, we're just throwing units away. So we really need to wait for the U.S. to enter the war. And that way we can be able to stack more units and be able to, whatever we thrust into France or mainland Europe, whatever we put into there, we need to be able to hold whenever we do amphib assault into Europe. So that's kind of the thinking there. As far as Africa, we're still just kind of building up there to be able to not only defend, but also maybe launch a counteroffensive or maybe assault if the Italians feel like they can't launch an offensive themselves. Just assault into these Italian holdings here in East Africa. But I mean, the main thing in Africa is we want to hold our strategic objective here, right? Because if the Italians take any of these territories, we lose our strategic objective for the railway, for African colonialism. So, which we might have already lost it since we lost British Somaliland. Let's look that up in the rule book real quick here and see what it says about that. Do they have to hold all original British territories? That is a good question. I believe they might have to. Let's see here. Yeah, Lower Egypt and Cape Town connected via undamaged rail, and the British Commonwealth possessed land zones. Okay, so to maintain this, we just have to make sure that all of this is connected from Cape Town up to Lower Egypt. So via rail. Okay. So it's really going to be important for us strategically to protect all the way through here. So I think that's looking pretty good. And then, of course, in the East, we're dealing with Japan, who's just been expanding like crazy. But I think once the Americans enter the war, it's going to open up another front and it's going to stretch them out. So hopefully that'll help us here in Calcutta. We're just putting most of everything into Calcutta and trying to turtle up there. I'm not too confident that the CCP will be able to hold much longer into into China. Oh, the CCP forgot to do a recruitment roll. Yeah, we got 3 recruitment rolls. Let's do those for the Soviets real quick because they forgot to do those. All right, so the CCP has a recruitment roll at a 2. Oh, and they hit with a 1. Wow. See, we're helping out the communists. What are we doing here? Man, unbelievable. We're a democracy, us British, and we're over here helping out communists. Unbelievable. All right. So they are going to take an infantry. All right, let's recruitment roll for the Mongolians. That's going to be at a 4 or less. And they missed big time with a 12. And then the Republican Spain, they will be at a 4 or less. And they miss. All right, so the only one to benefit from the British rolls is the CCP. Okay. So yeah, going back to strategy, this kind of demonstrates, I think we had it with the KMT as well, right? Where the KMT, I seem to remember earlier in the game, the KMT attempted a counter assault. I think it was into Sichuan. Rather than just retreating everyone back, they tried to retake some land from the CCP. And I just did that to demonstrate how, as the CCP or as the KMT, it's really difficult because you're so strapped for units and for IPP that you'll see a lot of players just take all their forces and turtle it up into one territory because any kind of assault, right? And we saw it with the CCP, not just with them dividing their forces to attack Xikang against the KMT several turns ago, but recently trying to assault into Qinghai against the Japanese. I mean, units are so precious as the KMT and as the CCP, and so you'll see a lot of players just turtle up and they'll play it super passive, right? They will not play it aggressive at all. And so I just demonstrate those attacks to show you that's the reason why, right? This is why a lot of players will implement the strategy to just turtle up as the KMT or CCP, and they won't even attempt any assaults, even if the assault appears to be, massively in their favor, because they don't want to spread their forces out and give the Japanese any kind of room to take advantage of that. So definitely as a KMT, we should have just turtled up in Yunnan or Queichow and not tried anything fancy. Same thing with the CCP. We should have just launched everything into Xikang and just stayed there until Japan goes to war with the U.S. and they get a bit more, spread out with all the fronts that they're involved in. So yeah, I just did that to demonstrate, maybe next game we'll play it a little bit closer to the best and kind of, not be as aggressive with those minor nations there in China. All right, so let's see. We are done with the Commonwealth. Let's collect some income. So we get 5. We do have raiding submarines. So we get 5 plus 26, so we get 31. 31. So Britain will end with 33 for next turn. Far East Command, they have 1 left to spend, and they will receive 10. Aden Suez plus 2 and their base of 8. So 10, they have 11 for next turn, and then the Anzacs, they don't get any bonuses because they have warships, enemy warships in their sea zones, so they will only get 6 IPP for next turn. All right, let's move on to France real quick. We did build a minor factory in Cameroon, so we are going to try and build up some forces there. Let's go for 2 regular infantry. That will cost us 6 IPP. We're just going to build up some forces in Africa to try and help the British defend their strategic objective down there. African colonialism. And let's see. These 2 French ships here will join the British fleet in the Eastern Med Sea. All right, and then we'll just go straight up and place 1 infantry in Cameroon. And I just remembered they don't have the benefit of improved factories, so they can only place 1 unit there. So yeah. Maybe we spend 1 extra and get a Foreign Legion, because with a Foreign Legion, we can put him anywhere. And I do believe the Foreign Legion will go in Cameroon. Pretty sure we can purchase Foreign Legion without the need of a factory. Let's see. France. We need to go to Free France. Okay, without a minor we can purchase Foreign Legion without a minor factory. 2 per turn must be placed in a land zone with IPP value that we have possessed since the beginning of the turn, and Cameroon meets that criteria. So that is where he will go. All right, so that's it for France. No bonuses, and we get 3 IPP for next turn. All right, that'll do it for the Commonwealth and Free France turn 10. Next up will be turn 10 for the Italians. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.